Hey everyone, it's UnsungNPC here with our first class video, which I'm very excited for. These were the big thing that I did for Kingmaker, and now I get to do them for Wrath. It's been a long wait to get here. I had a lot of other videos to do, a lot of stuff with my day job to do, but we're finally here. So here we go. First class up is Alchemist, my favorite class of not just this game, but also Pathfinder in general. The entire system, Alchemist is my favorite class. I love it so much. I love alchemy, the idea of alchemy. It's a super fun thing to roleplay. Let's first take a look at kind of what they've given us here to take a brief glance at. So they give you the difficulty, which they say is 4 out of 5. I probably think that's a little too high, to be honest. I'd say that alchemists are a lot easier to use, really. Maybe this is more of a difficulty of like how difficult they are to learn, which still I don't think should be as high as 4, but they can be a little bit trickier because they're not typical. But that's it. We've got good defense, really good support, okay range damage, and some magic. I would disagree with this as well. I think in terms of defense, all of their spells are pretty much defensive spells for the most part, so I get that kind of, but the ranged combat should definitely be higher because these guys can destroy. They can destroy. If you use an alchemist in Kingmaker at all, you know this. They just completely obliterate everybody. The bombs are super powerful. Force bombs are like not even resisted by anything and very, very powerful. So I'd say ranged combat should be a little bit higher, but that's just me. So let's take a look at the class stuff here, right? So the main thing with Alchemist is the bombs. The bombs is their thing, okay? They get bombs and you get these discoveries, right? So for the bomb, you get a number of bombs per day equal to your class level plus your intelligence modifier. So your spells, your bombs, everything is going to stack with intelligence. That is the key trait here for the Alchemist, okay? They have a range of 30 feet and they are a thrown splash weapon, which is pretty great because they give you throw anything. So an Alchemist adds intelligence modifier to damage done with splash weapons, including splash damage, if any. This applies to your bombs. So adding your intelligence modifier to your damage is going to be another reason to stack that intelligence. For the bombs, they do benefit from feats like point blank shot and weapon focus. Weapon focus choosing bomb as the weapon focus. And on a direct hit, the bomb inflicts 1d6 points of fire damage plus additional damage equal to the intelligence modifier. The damage of an alchemist bomb increases 1d6 at every odd number level. So every other level, you're going to increase that damage by a d6, and that's for that direct hit, right? And then the splash damage, people can attempt a reflex save against to not take the damage, essentially. So splash damage from an alchemist bomb is always equal to the bomb's minimum damage, so the minimum that they can roll. And those caught can attempt a reflex save, and if they save, they take half, which won't be very much because it's already minimal, right? And so the fire damage is also just for the first bomb you start out with. There are plenty other bombs that you can get that will allow you to choose different types of things that you can do with them. And then also, when getting bomb, there are feats you can take like ability focus bombs, which gives you a +2 to DCs for all saving throws against your bombs, which you're going to want to do. And then you can keep taking the extra bombs feat for 4 additional bombs per day, and you can take this as many times as you like, which is a really awesome time, and if you can stack these feats, I absolutely would. So that's that. You also get some poison resistance. Alright, you get a +2 on all saving throws against poison, then it becomes +4, then +6, and then you get poison immunity at only level 10. That's actually pretty early on, so as immune to poison pretty quickly, and there is a bit of poison in this game. It's probably not as prevalent as it was in Kingmaker in my opinion, but there is still some. So nice to have a little bit of resistance to that just for free. You also get a mutagen. Mutagen is going to give you +2 to your natural armor and +4 to either con, dex, or strength, depending on which one you're drinking. Alright, if you're an alchemist and you're throwing bombs, you're gonna want to drink the dex one. Okay, the con and strength are not even worth paying attention to unless for some reason you need to like succeed a fortitude save. That's really important. If you need to do that, then maybe the constitution one would be good for you. But other than that, dex, 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 so that you can throw bombs accurately. Okay, especially since this is considered an alchemical bonus. It's not an enhancement bonus, which means it stacks with any outstanding enhancement bonuses you have, which is really nice. You will take -2 to one of your mental scores. For dexterity, you take a -2 to your wisdom. Another reason not to drink the strength one ever is because it gives you a -2 to intelligence, so you're just making it even worse on yourself. But for dexterity, -2 to wisdom, not that big of a deal, but something you'll definitely want to be wary of if you have to deal with all these magic casting demons and their freaking will save spells. Alright? And then at some point it becomes persistent mutagen, where it lasts for an hour per level instead of 10 minutes per level. Okay, so 10 minutes per level, which is actually a pretty significant amount of time anyway, but it does become an hour per level eventually, which means you'll be able to pretty much use it until you rest, which is really nice, right? You also get brew potions. Makes perfect sense. You can brew potions of spells up to level 3 during camping. That's literally what an alchemist is supposed to be able to do, so that makes perfect sense, right? The other big thing that alchemists get is these discoveries. These discoveries give you different abilities, including different kinds of bombs. So let's talk about the bombs first. First, you've got the acid bomb, which is the same as the fire bomb, except it's acid instead. The acid bomb is great. I like it. It's not going to be as applicable in this game. Neither is the fire bomb, unless you're taking Ascendant Element. And I'm telling you, for any character, you really shouldn't be taking Ascendant Element more than one time. You should only be having one element that you want to get through. And if you're going to do one element only, I wouldn't do acid. I wouldn't even waste time taking acid bomb at all. You don't need it for the trolls like we did in Kingmaker. Don't need acid bomb. That's my recommendation to you. Okay? You've got breath weapon bomb, which allows you to use it in a 15-foot cone instead of throwing the bomb. Instead of throwing a bomb where it direct hits one person and splashes everyone else, you shoot it in a cone and everyone takes direct hit damage, but instead of getting above any touch ACs, you have to actually, they have to fail a reflex save instead. So that's the trade-off, because a reflex save is a lot easier to succeed than trying to defend against a touch attack like a bomb. Okay, so that's the down low here. So especially in this game, because there are a lot of demons with high reflex, so it can be very, very tricky. But on all your big boy demons, you're probably gonna do just fine taking breath weapon bomb. So I like breath weapon bomb. I think it's a fun one. I'm pretty sure breath weapon bomb is your fire bombs, because in Kingmaker, breath weapon bomb was fire bombs. You couldn't turn any of your bombs into a breath weapon that you wanted to. It was a specific bomb and it was fire. If that's the case, then maybe if you want to take that, then do Ascendant Element Fire. That'd be a good trade-off. If this isn't the case, and it can be applied to any bomb, then there are way more bombs that you could benefit from rather than just doing fire. There's also Choking Bomb. Choking Bomb, you are not going to want to take in this game at all. I have yet to come across demons that have super, super low fortitudes outside of like a couple here and there. And not even ones I can name you, because I can't even tell you the name of them because they don't happen that often. Demons have fortitude most of the time. Choking Bomb goes against a fortitude saving throw. You're not going to end up choking anybody. Do not waste time on this bomb. It's not good. Do not do it for this game. Do not. You've got Cursed Bomb. So Cursed Bomb affects will, right? It affects their will save, and you can give them feeble body, weakness, idiocy, or deterioration. This is a risky one. I feel like there's a lot of demons with high will, and there's a lot of demons with low will. So maybe Cursed Bomb is something you can play around with. I don't know. It wasn't a very good one in Kingmaker because a lot of the late game enemies had really, really high wisdom, but maybe this can work here. You'd have to play around with it to see how effective it truly is. I haven't played around with the Cursed Bomb at all because I prefer damage, but maybe this is the way to go. Dispelling Bombs. So Dispelling Bombs act as if you're casting Dispel Magic using the Alchemist level as your caster level. I love Dispelling Bombs because I love dispelling magic in general. So I think Dispelling Bombs are a fun one. You've got Explosive Bombs. Explosive Bombs still do fire, but they have a splash radius of 10 feet rather than 5 feet. And creatures that take a direct hit from an Explosive Bomb catch fire, dealing another 1d6 points of fire damage each round until the fire is extinguished. So bigger splash range, catching people on fire consistently, a really great bomb choice. If you paired this with Breath Weapon and your regular bomb and chose Ascendant Element Fire, then you have a lot of different types of fire damage bases at your disposal, which I think could come in handy. So I like that one. Here we go. The Force Bomb. The Force Bomb is my all-time fave, and in Kingmaker, it was the best bomb, for sure. It does force damage, which, like, isn't really resisted by pretty much anyone that I know of, and basically, it only does 1d4, but if they fail a reflex save, they also fall prone, which is awesome. So you can just pelt them with these Force Bombs and make people fall prone. I love it. I love the Force Bomb. I love making people fall over. It's a grand old time. Definitely consider taking this bomb. Frost Bomb. I don't remember Frost Bomb in Kingmaker. Was it in Kingmaker? I don't know. I don't remember seeing it, but it's here now, and it does cold damage. And if they get hit directly, they are staggered unless they succeed a Fortitude save. I'm gonna say don't take this one. A lot of demons resist cold, so you'd have to do Ascendant Element for literally one kind of bomb, which is kind of a waste. And Fortitude save is not good to go against. I would never bet on Fortitude saving abilities. I would never bet on them. They're just not good. They're just not good in this game. I don't think they are, so I wouldn't mess with Frost Bomb. Holy Bombs. Now these guys would probably do really well in this game. They deal good divine damage. So if you hit an evil creature, they have to succeed a Fortitude save or be staggered. Okay, any neutral creatures, Holy Bombs deal half damage and are not affected by staggering effect. And Holy Bombs have no effect on good creatures. So they only really affect evil creatures, which is great. So it's holy damage. There's no damage reduction bypass to worry about. These will hit the demons and hit them hard. Yes, they'll probably save against the Fortitude save successfully, but there's a chance they might not. And at the same time, you don't have to pick Ascendant Element for these to work. You can just dish out the holy damage all day long, because that's what demons hate. So totally vibe with that one. Totally vibe with that one. And we got two more. Shock Bomb. So Shock Bomb does electricity, and if you take a direct hit, you just are dazzled. No save against that. They just become dazzled for 1d4 rounds. That's interesting. I think that still taking Ascendant Element just for one kind of bomb is kind of a waste. So I don't know that I would take Shock Bombs, but being able to dazzle people, give them the old razzle dazzle, sounds like a great time to me. So I feel like it could go either way. If you want the extra utility and nothing else in the discovery section seems good to you, give them the old dazzle, call it a day. Tanglefoot Bombs. Tanglefoot Bombs basically entangle and glue people's feet to the floor, essentially. They have to save against the bomb's DC or be entangled, right? Creatures in the splash area that failed their saves are entangled but not glued to the floor. So splash become entangled, direct hit becomes stuck, right? And it just goes against the bomb's regular DC, the regular DC that affects everybody with a normal bomb anyway. So no additional damage or anything like that. You're just dealing entangle shit. So there you go. So that's the Tanglefoot bomb. So those are different kind of bombs. Like I said, frost, shock, acid, probably wouldn't worry about. Choking, definitely disregard. Cursed, maybe. Holy is nice. Explosive is worth it if you also take breath weapon bomb and then take ascendant element fire and just use breath weapon, explosive, and regular bombs and call it a day. That's my opinion on that. Oh, I totally forgot blinding bombs. Everyone's probably mad at me for skipping over that one. Blinding bombs. So you hit them with a bomb. If they take a direct hit, they're blinded unless they succeed a fortitude save. Creatures in the splash area that failed their saves are dazzled for a minute. That's a nice big chunk of time to be dazzled. But fortitude saves, again, don't do it. This is just like the choking bomb. You're not going to blind nearly anybody. It's not worth it. It's not worth it just to blind a few regular looking cultists, okay? It is not. Do not take blinding bomb. Do not do it. That's my recommendation to you. These other abilities. First, you've got Cognitogen. So the Cognitogen is like the Mutagen, except it boosts intelligence, wisdom, or charisma rather than strength, dex, and con. You do get natural armor. It says otherwise this ability works just like the Mutagen ability, including the natural armor bonus. So you could take the Cognitogen, boost your intelligence so that you get really nice damage output and up to your DC. Get your natural armor bonus, call it a day. You could also bump wisdom if you felt like that you really needed to succeed a will save that was coming up soon. So, and whenever the Cognitogen ends, the Alchemist takes 2 points of ability damage to the ability score penalized by the Cognitogen. The Infused Mutagen Discovery and the Persistent Mutagen class ability apply to Cognitogens as well. So it'll start at 10 minutes per level, then become an hour per level, right? There we go. That's a Cognitogen. Okay, so next we've got the different feral things, right? So you've got feral mutagen, which means that when you take your mutagen, you also get a bite attack made using the Alchemist's full base attack bonus. You get 2 claw attacks as well. So the claw does 1d6, the bite does 1d8 unless you're small. And while the mutagen is in effect, the Alchemist gains a +2 on persuasion checks used to intimidate. So you just become a scary looking monster thing. And then eventually you can get feral wings, where you get +3 to dodge AC against melee attacks and immunity to difficult terrain. Just like any other pair of wings. Pretty much works the same way. There's also fast bombs. So fast bombs, you can prepare and throw additional bombs as a full round action if your base attack bonus is high enough. Basically, you get additional attacks as if you were doing a full attack with a ranged weapon. That's basically what fast bombs does. Very similar to like rapid shot or something. You've also got Grand Cognitogen, Greater, and then Grand Mutagen and Greater. It just increases that bonus. So, and also increases the penalty to an extent. So for Greater, you're gonna be taking a -2 to 2 different mental stats or 2 physical stats depending on which one you're doing, rather than just one. And at Grand, you're going to get a +8 to 1 ability score, either mental or physical, +6 to a second, and +4 to a third, and -2 to all of the other 3 stats, essentially. So that's how that works. So +6, +4 a second, then -2 to 2 stats, and then +8, +6, +4, and then -2 to all 3 stats. So that's how that works. which is pretty good bonuses, but if you're not using those other stats, I don't really see the purpose in doing it. If you're like a melee fighting type of alchemist or a vivisectionist or something like that, then I can see why the grand mutagen would be great, because you're just boosting all of your stats with alchemical bonuses at that. Okay, we've got Precise Bomb. Precise Bomb allows you to throw a bomb and not affect allies. Take that as soon as possible. It might even be your first discovery if you're smart enough to realize you need it, so take it, please. You don't want to hit people with bombs. It's not a good time. They're powerful. You've got Infusion, which allows you to use your spells on other people rather than just yourself, because normally an alchemist can only use his spells on himself, but Infusion allows you to use them on other people as well. Mummification allows you to become immune to cold, paralysis, and sleep. You just become a mummy. Nauseating Flesh, any creature that tries to bite you has to make a fortitude save or be nauseated. This isn't worth taking. Fortitude saves, I can't stress it enough. Don't worry about this one. Preserve Organs gives you 25% chance that the critical hit or sneak attack is negated and damage is instead rolled normally. Okay? You can take this up to 3 times, causing your percentage to be up to 75% chance. That's a really nice ability, but if you're just a backline bomb thrower and that's it, you don't need this, in my opinion. I don't really think you need this. There's not enough sneak attack critical hit stuff happening to backline people in this game in my experience so far, so it's not needed if that's the case. And then Spontaneous Healing. As a free action, once per round, you can heal 5 hit points as if you had the fast healing ability. You can do it per day in this manner for every 2 alchemist levels you possess. At some point, this gets ridiculous because 5 hit points, the hit points you heal don't scale. It's always 5. And 5 at some point is just not much at all. So I wouldn't recommend taking that ability either, in my opinion. And then you've got Enhanced Potion, right? So basically, any potion that you drink functions caster level equal to your class level, not the caster level of the potion itself. This allows for your cure potions or any other potions you use to buff yourself to make them possibly stronger, especially at higher levels, when you're still fighting like level 2 potions, but you're like level 15 or something. So, really nice ability. Only pick it up if you feel like you really need it and you're a potion chugger. If you're not, I would say don't worry about it. So, and then of course at level 20, you can also get access to a Grand Discovery. So Grand Discovery gives you increase your intelligence by 2 permanently. You gain Fast Healing 5, which is way more useful than Spontaneous Healing. Or you get True Mutagen, where you get 8 to your natural armor, 8 to strength, dex, and con, and -2 to your mental stats. So it's like Grand Mutagen, except instead of a +4, +6, +8, it's +8, +8, +8. So, good discovery there. I like the permanent +2 to intelligence, but that's just me. Now we're going to kind of briefly go over the different archetypes here. So, for the most part, a lot of these are going to be the same, except for just some things being switched around, right? So for the Chirurgian, whatever this thing is, it's kind of like being a surgeon, basically, right? That's actually what this word means. This word actually means surgeon. Basically what you get is you get rid of all your poison stuff, poison resistance, poison immunity, and instead you get infused curative. So remove disease, remove blindness, neutralize poison, and all cure spells automatically can be used on your allies and not just yourself. You get skill focused religion, which is nice because religion allows you to treat affliction. And then you get power over death, so you get breath of life that you can use on other people. So to trade these off for poison resistance, I think is a great trade-off. Now, that being said, is this class good for healing? No. Even with the abundant casting, your healing spell output is not going to be even comparable to a cleric or an oracle. So I would not bank on this archetype if I were you for trying to be a main healer. If you wanted this archetype because you wanted to kind of do some healing on the side, and it's just better than poison resistance anyway, then yes, take this class. Not for main healing. Do not take it for main healing. But I think this is just, like, if you're going to be a base alchemist, you should just take this instead. Because poison resistance, with all the delayed poison you could possibly use, you don't need poison resistance. This is going to be way better off than that. All the healing, side healing, semi-healing is going to be way beneficial, way more beneficial to you than poison resistance. Next is the Grenadier. So the Grenadier gets martial weapons proficiency because they actually use weapons. They use melee weapons. Okay, so they are a closer range fighter alchemist choice. They get rid of the first poison resistance for precise bomb for free, which is actually really nice. They also get rid of poison immunity for staggering blast and directed blast as well. So for directed blast, you can detonate a bomb so that it splashes in a 30-foot cone, not 15 feet, 30-foot cone, which is huge. I use this in Kingmaker, and you just destroy everybody. All right? You take damage as if you have been direct hit, reflex save, okay? Just like breath weapon bomb, except a huger cone. And then you get staggering blast, where if you successfully score a critical hit, then they are staggered for 1d4 plus 1 rounds. And they can reduce that duration by 1 round with the fortitude save. So these reflex and fortitude saves are rough sometimes, but I don't think reflex is actually that bad on these demons. So directed blast could still do good, especially since you're like direct hitting everyone in that cone. And precise bomb works for this. So you can be behind everybody and direct blast, and none of your allies will get hit. Only your enemies will get hit. Precise bomb works on the cones as well, which is awesome. And then you get this cool ability called Alchemical Weapon, where you can use an action to do a melee weapon or a piece of ammunition and turn it into a fire weapon or an acid weapon based on which kind of flask you have. If you have an acid flask, a fire flask, anything like that. And then they takes full effect on the next creature struck by the weapon, but does not splash, spread, affect additional targets, or benefit from any of their effects. Okay, so the alchemical treatment causes no harm to the weapon treated and wears off 1 minute after being applied if no blow is struck. So these only last for 1 blow, but it's instead of throwing your bomb, it's more of hitting them, and then they, not your bomb, like your flask, they take the damage from the flask directly instead of it being a splash thrown thing. So at 6th level, Grenadier can use this as a swift action. At 15th level, you can use this as a free action. Free action is really nice. So this is kind of a more of a, you get like melee, you get martial proficiency as well, which is cool. So basically, any kind of weapon you want, take on the alchemical weapon stuff, shoot cones of bombs at people. It's a good time. If you're gonna do this though, you're gonna want Ascendant Element Fire, because I'm pretty sure, I want to say Directed Blast. In Kingmaker, Directed Blast was fire only. I couldn't Direct Blast a Force or Acid Bomb. I'm guessing it's the same case here, unless they changed it. But fire, just know that. Alright. Alright, next we have Incense Synthesizer, where you get rid of mutagens completely, and you get rid of every other bomb level for the use of incense. So an incense is a 15 feet area around you to aid your allies, giving everyone a +1 to attack and damage rolls. And then you can get these different alchemical tricks these incenses which grant ally powers or weaken foes. So you get these new kinds of incense. So you can get increased range, so the fog is 30 feet around you. Toxic incense, so affected enemy receives a -2 penalty on all saving throws against poisons, which is nice. You can take toxic incense up to 3 times to get a total of -6 to poisons. Unsettling fog does -2 against mind affecting effects. You can take this up to 3 times as well. That's actually awesome. I love that one. +2 on saving throws against mind affecting effects. You can take this up to 3 times for your team. +2 against fear effects. Take it up to 3 times. +1 on attack and damage rolls, just like your regular one. You can take this up to 2 times to get a total of +3 to attack and damage rolls, which is actually really nice. +2 to saving throws against poisons, stacks. An affected ally receives concealment, 20%. Oh, so you just blur everybody in the area. If I was playing an incense synthesizer, I would probably take thick fog as soon as I can, because being able to just blur everybody gives you so many open spell slots for your different casters that use blur. So that's awesome. Sacred incense. Any undead and evil outsiders who enter the area of incense must succeed at a fort save or become alchemically sickened for 1d4 rounds. And then greater nauseated and sickened. If the save succeeds, they're only sickened, but they still be sickened. Okay. That's pretty cool, especially since everyone you fight is basically an evil outsider. That could be useful. It's still a fortitude save, which you know how I feel about it. But yeah, you're giving up these fogs. I mean, you're giving up these bombs to get these fogs. So if you're going to be an incense synthesizer, just know that damage is no longer your role, and your role is to support the group or debilitate the enemy. That's basically what you're doing. If you don't like to be the support debilitator guy, don't be an incense synthesizer. Next is Metamorph. Metamorph doesn't use bombs. Metamorph basically just focuses on shape-shifting. So you get Shape Changer, and you get B-Shape 1, B-Shape 2, B-Shape 3, B-Shape 4, and then Dragon Kind 1 and 2. And then Adaptive Physiology. So you gain a 25% chance to negate crits and precision damage similar to Preserve Organs Discovery. This chance increases to 50% at 6th level and 75% at 18th level, right? And instead of Throw Anything, you get Sneak as a class skill. So this is basically just a shape-changing damage guy. You're a shape-changing damage guy. You're gonna want to pump more physical stats and then a little bit of intelligence and ignore your other mental stats. That's what you're here to do, is shape change. All right. Preservationist gets rid of the poisons and the persistent mutagen and 1 discovery to grant you bottled ally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Basically ends up giving you Summon Nature's ally. So this is Summon Nature's ally 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9. So you will get up to Summon Nature's ally 9. It's spontaneously casting them, so you can give up any of your spells that you have prepared, right? Nope, never mind. You only add it to your spell list known, so you still have to use a spell slot to even put these in here. So if you're not doing a summoner build, I wouldn't waste your time with this. It's nice to be a summoner that can damage people with bombs. I think that's way cooler than being a druid summoner, in my opinion. But if you don't want to be a summoner, don't mess with Preservationist. That's what this is for. I will say, though, that this game lends itself very well to summoners. There's a lot of summoning things with every mythic path, so a summoner could do very well here, and a Preservationist might even be one of the best options for this game. And then next is everybody's favorite, Vivisectionist. Vivisectionist is just a tankier rogue, essentially. You give up bombs for sneak attack, You give up your discoveries for medical discoveries, and you get advanced talents. So basically what happens is, instead of your regular alchemy discoveries, you get medical ones. Some of which are the same: Cognitogen, Enhanced Potion, Extend Potion, Feral Mutagen, Feral Wings, Grand, Greater, Infusion, all this stuff. It's just all of the bomb stuff taken out. And then added in is a bunch of talents from the Rogue talents list. Okay? We're going to be able to go over the Rogue talents list in my Rogue video, but just know that you get Combat Trick, Fast Stealth, Focusing Attack, Confuse, Shake and Sicken, Iron Guts, Slow Reaction, Weakening Wound, Confounding Blades, Crippling Strike, and Dispelling Attack, rather than the bomb choices that you could possibly get, because you don't throw bombs anymore. You're a vivisectionist. So this is all about the sneaky sneak stab, but they have a lot of different abilities they can use to become hardier than your average rogue, which I think makes them very unique and very powerful. A lot of people have been respecing Woljif into vivisectionist specifically, and from what I've seen, it seems like a solid choice. The spells here are better, the damage here is about the same, but the survivability is a lot better. So it's something to consider. I wouldn't take this all the way. I would only take this after getting your first finesse training in the rogue class, because getting finesse training for free rather than having to spend a freaking feat on it is a lot nicer than getting a couple extra discoveries, right? So that's what I would do. But then get into this and start stacking and multi-classing those two together, and I think you'll have a good time. Very roguey. So, in my opinions, Alchemist is great. If you're gonna be a base Alchemist, just take this healing one instead, because having the healing instead of poison resistance is a way better trade-off. So just do it. You don't have to be a healer. You shouldn't be a healer, okay? But having the healing as like a side gig is a lot better than this poison resistance stuff. So just take this if you want base Alchemist. Grenadier is great. Grenadier is great, but you have to take Ascendant Element to get any effect out of it. Incense Synthesizer, great. Full support. The most support Alchemist archetype here. It seems very fun to play with. I'm sure I'll play around with it at some point. I want to mess with these incenses. I know they weren't working before, and now they got them working, but don't expect to do damage here, because you're only going to get up to 5d6 bomb damage, not 10d6 like a normal Alchemist. Metamorph is shape-changing damage. Vivisectionist is sneaky rogue type of damage. And then Preservationist is your summoner Alchemist, which I think, out of all of these, honestly, this one kind of holds up really well, because summoning is just, there's so many items that boost summoning in this game, and so many powers that boost summoning in this game, especially if you're like an Aeon, for example. Like, summoning is powerful. Being able to summon nature's ally as an Alchemist is powerful in this game specifically. So play around with it, but I think it's a good option. And this is Alchemist, guys. It's an awesome class. We went over a lot. I've given you some ideas for what I think you could do here. I'm just going to say this outright. Vivisectionist is the only one worth multi-classing. I don't recommend multi-classing if you're doing any of the other archetypes. They all kind of have something that they need to stick around for. So, but love this class. I hope you guys have learned something from this video, been able to take away something. Maybe the wheels are turning for a new character idea. We love those. If you have any Alchemist experiences in this game, or any builds that you've built, I would love to hear about it in the comments below. Let me know, please. Please. Also, like and subscribe if you thought this video was helpful to you or just enjoyed listening. And if you haven't already, join the Discord. It's a fun place to be, and we'd love to have you. Anyway, I'm UnsungNPC, and I will catch you guys in the next one.